and welcome to one of our brief chats with people familiar with saving Union Station, expanding our passenger rail system through Goldsboro, or improving our regional freight rail system. These are informal discussions to help you learn about these projects from people that you know or the experts working on them. This chat will feature Mr. Patrick Lechner, a resident of Goldsboro, an active member of our community, especially with his work mentoring children, and an up-and-coming photographer. I'm Julie Metz, your host for this discussion and a member of the Saving Union Station Committee. Patrick, welcome. I am so glad to have you here and have this opportunity to talk with you about your perspective and experiences with Goldsboro's Union Station. I have known you for a very long time, mostly due to our employment with the city of Goldsboro. You served in the Public Works Department originally for many years, and you were always my go-to person for many things, one of them being Union Station. If there was ever a need, whether it was mending the fence, installing the window partitions, raising a flag, whatever it was, setting up an event that we'd have there, you were always my person. Always willing, always helpful, and always gracious. You seemed to respect the property, and then I think you over time grew to appreciate it. So I have several questions for you. I want to get to know your perspective on the property and the project that we're doing. But before we jump into it, can you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your introduction to Union Station building?
Sure thing. Well, first of all, thank you, Julie, for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here this morning. So, as you said, we worked together with each other at the city of Goldsboro. I was a previous building and maintenance superintendent at Public Works, and that's really how my involvement played in and getting more knowledgeable with Union Station. Before that, I really didn't know anything about it until meeting you and getting involved with what you're doing, what your vision is, and the direction you were wanting to take it. A bit about my background, as you said before, I've always loved working with the community. Goldsboro's my home. It's been my home for well over 30 years. It's where I bought my first house, where I met my wife, and where I established a family. So seeing something like this, and then even just playing a small part in a revitalization, or just being an advocate for it, is an honor and very exciting.
Well, like I said, you've been in and around Gus for a long time, as I already mentioned. And like I said, you were always eager to help to move that project forward. Why were you so eager? And when you see Union Station, what strikes you about that building?
Well, one of the biggest catalysts in my eagerness to support this were the people that were driving this project forward. Just seeing the passion and the vision that they painted so clearly, it was almost tangible. It was hard to not get excited and not get involved. And given the opportunity to walk through the facility, to look at the campus and see the building, see all the beautiful architecture that was there, and then I look at it, and I've been to other train stations. I like taking the train, especially especially like going to New York. It's a quick hop. It's a lot cheaper than flying. It's relaxing. But seeing Goldsboro Station versus the ones that I've been to, oh, by far, there's no comparison. So knowing that the potential is there, knowing that the opportunity to bring it back is there, is what really helps drive my eagerness to support it.
What do you think from your experiences in train travel or just your experience in Goldsboro, what do you think a restored Union Station would do for our community?
I think it could do several things outside of just the norm of bringing more guests and visitors. I think it could bring job opportunities. I think it could bring growth and revitalization in that area. It's right near the heart of downtown. You can look down the street and you see this beautiful, beautiful portrait of Union Station. I mean, it's almost picture perfect.
Well, I know you've worked and you've followed all of our downtown revitalization efforts over the years. So you've seen a lot of buildings that were, in many people's opinions, should have been torn down, right? And you've seen them transformed by people that have invested in them and given them the attention that they need. So I guess you can see how this would happen with Union Station as well, because a lot of people have a hard time seeing anything that's not right there in front of them. They see it for what it is and have a hard time envisioning it something better. Has that been your experience? And how do you envision, like if you closed your eyes and looked at Union Station and it was restored, what do you see?
Right. So every single time, right, we come across that, whether if it was doing Center Street, redoing downtown, everybody, there were so many negative things, nobody could see the vision. And that's why I said originally, what really drives me to support this cause is the ones pushing it. I've seen their work in the past, their drive, their eagerness, their passion for it. But just to know that we could bring it back, I'm trying to put it into a different setting. Could you repeat that last part?
So like if you close your eyes, what do you see when you see a restored Union Station? I mean, is your vision just on the property and the building, or does it expand and trickle into the area around it? I mean, what does that look like for you?
So a little bit of both, right? Obviously, once that building changes, once that area becomes more usable to the community, it's going to have an outward effect. It's going to bleed out and throughout the rest of the area, not solely just there, but also indirectly throughout Goldsboro itself.
So this project, I mean, rehabilitating Union Station is a big project on its own. It's an expensive project, and it's going to take multiple partners. To date, we've had federal and state partners, as well as the private sector, coming to the table to get it to where it is today, and that's going to need to continue to move it forward to the next place. And then it's partnered project, which is the expansion of passenger rail through Goldsboro, connecting Raleigh to Wilmington. Is even a bigger project in terms of just the mass size of the project, the expense of the project. Tell us a little bit about your experiences working in a grassroots kind of effort and how that makes a difference in making these projects implementable and valuable to the community. I mean, because we're going to need that grassroots effort to get these projects done. And just tell us a little bit about that experience that you've had and the success that maybe has helped.
So I've seen firsthand multiple times, pretty much every single time, when the community gets involved, things happen. Things happen a lot faster. You gain momentum a lot quicker. The funding tends to be more available because it's ours. It's not just another government project. It's not just another building. No, this is something for the community. This is something for every single person, whether if they live here in Goldsboro, been longtime residents, if they just moved here, people getting stationed here to Seymour Johnson. It is for them. It is for everyone. Imaginable, pretty much.
Do you have any additional parting words that you'd like to share with anybody that's listening? Maybe a call to action or just something that you'd like to share about Union Station and your experience with it and the project?
Yes. So if you haven't had the opportunity, and this is anybody listening, watching, if you have not had the opportunity to be a part of it, just out of sheer curiosity, go check it out. See when their next live event is going to be, to where they open up the doors to Union Station, so you can firsthand get a glimpse as to what it is, rather than just taking some people's word for it or reading something in an article or on social media. go and check it out for yourself. It'll make a massive difference in your perception on it.
Well, that's a great point. And for those that are listening, Union Station is located at 101 North Carolina Street, just a short drive from Center Street in the heart of downtown. And if you're interested in taking a tour of it, you can call or email the DGDC office, and they'll be happy to set something up that's appropriate with your schedule and theirs. And so thank you so much, Patrick. I really appreciate your time today and all the work that you have done. You are one of my favorite people to work with when I worked in Goldsboro, and I appreciate all you've done to help move this project forward, as well as all the projects that happened to collectively make downtown Goldsboro a better place to be.
Well, thank you, Julie. It was my pleasure.
So anybody that is watching, if you'll just give me just a second, I am going to share a slide that will take you, it gives you a QR code that will take you to our website that has more information about all of these projects, Saving Union Station Committee and why we were formed, as well as the North Carolina Southeastern Passenger Rail Route that's planned to go through Goldsboro, connecting Raleigh to Wilmington. All of that information is on this website, and you can just scan this QR code to get there. Or also, here is another slide with another QR code that will take you directly to our GoFundMe page. We need to raise $750,000 to match the contributions that the city and the county have made towards the immediate stabilization costs that Union Station needs to have happen so it can have a future and so that it can serve passenger rail once that's developed. And so if you are compelled to help us raise those funds so we can get to work on Saving Union Station, scan this QR code and it'll take you to that GoFundMe page. But if checks are more your style, please make it out to the DGDC, stands for the Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation. And in the memo section of the check, just please write SUS so that we can guarantee that 100% of your contribution will go towards that effort. Checks can be mailed to the address shown on the screen. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you at our next chat with somebody in the know about Saving Union Station, the passenger rail route through Goldsboro, or the improvements to the freight rail system. Thank you.